here I am in the city of Melbourne, and today we will learn how to solve equations with negative number, negative x's, positive number, and positive x's. So I will teach you how to do it. First, I will do it in my mind. I will solve this equation, the number 9. First, I will do it in my mind. So it's okay if you don't understand what I am saying when I start to solve it. But then I will teach you how to do it, and we will have so much fun. So well, I have 3 negative x's, and so it will be 2 positive x's and negative 8, and will be 3 negative x's minus 3 negative x's plus 2 x's plus negative 8 is equal to x plus 8. So I can remove one x in both sides, and I will have x plus negative 8 is equal to 3 negative x's plus negative 8 or minus 8. 3 negative x's minus 8 is equal to 8. So I can add an 8 in both sides. So I will have 3 negative x's is, so if I remove an x, if I have an x and then I add the 2 8's in both sides, I can remove the negative 8 and the positive 8 in the left hand side, and my answer will be x is equal to positive 8. So well, Doritos, it's okay if you didn't understand, because now I will teach you how to do it. So well, Doritos, the first step we need to do is not that complicated. It's just to write the problem. So well, it will be 3 negative x's minus 2 groups of negative x plus 4 is equal to 3 x's minus 2 x's plus 8. So you will notice that here it says 3 negative x's minus 2 groups of negative x plus 4. And maybe you will say, how can I solve that? How can I write the equation? So well, here it says to subtract 2 groups of negative x plus 4. So well, it will be the opposite of these numbers and these x's. So in this case will be plus 2 x's because it's 2 groups of the opposite of these groups of negative x plus 4. So in this case will be 2 negative x's, so 2 x's plus 4 times 2 in the opposite way. So it will be negative 8. And 3 x's minus 2 x's plus 8. So the next step we need to do is to solve 3 x's minus 2 x's plus 8. Or we can solve it in this part of the equation. So 3 x's minus 2 x's is just equal to 1x plus 8. And now we can solve our equations with any problem. So it says 3 negative x's plus 2 x's. So it will be so we can remove 2 x's and 2 other negative x's, because is negative and positive, so that will be equal to 0. So it will be equal to x's, and I need to remove the 2 x's, and I will have here a negative x. It's just like negative x could be just to subtract an x. You can think that in that way. So it will be easier to think about it. So it will be like 3 negative x's plus 2 x's. So we like to remove 2 x's of a group of 3 x's. But in the opposite way. So it will be like negative x plus negative 8 is equal to x plus 8. Now we have negative numbers and positive numbers in both of the sizes of the equation, in both of the sides of the equation. So we can do two things. We can, for example, add 2 8s in both sides. So it will be, and then I will tell you why we can do that. Because it's negative 8 and a positive 8, so that will be equal to 0. So we can do that. But the equation will not be the two sides equal. So I need to add an 8 in the other side too. So here will be a 0 because it's negative 8 and 8, that's 0. And because I add the 8 in this side, will be x plus the 8 plus 8, so 16. Now, something we can do is to add a negative x in both sides. So here we will have 2 groups of negative x because I added in both sides. And in this side, I will have x and negative x and 16. But x and negative x is equal to 0. So we can just write 16. And now it's so easy to see what is our answer. Or, of course, our answer must be 8. So our x is equal to negative 8. And well, Toritos, now that I have my answer, I will do the check. So, the check means that you need to maybe add or subtract. You need to do the operations that the equation said for you to see if in both sides of your equation there is the same number. So that the equations is to have two sides and that are equal. So well, here it says 3 groups of a negative x. So 3 groups of 8. That is 24. It's 3 times 8. And here it says minus 2 groups of negative x plus 4. So Toritos, we know that it is 2 groups of x, and now we know that x is negative 8, and it says 2 groups of negative 8. So that will be negative 16. And I can do this subtraction. It is equal to 8. But then it says that 2 groups of 4, but negative 4. Yeah, but so it will be 2 groups of 4. That it is 8. But in the opposite way will be negative 8. So 8 and negative 8, well, is equal to 0. This side is equal to 0. So if the other side is equal to 0, this equation is correct. So it will be 3x's minus 2x's, that's an x, and we know our x is negative 8. And then I forgot to write the plus. It was a plus. So it is negative 8 and positive 8. That's 0. So our equation is correct. So Toritos, I hope you have learned how to solve this type of equations. You can practice making a lot of equations like this one. So well, Toritos, I hope you have learned a lot and see you in another video. Bye, Toritos.